First, I just want to start with thanking you for going to that space. Just even now, I can feel the gravity of the questions that we just asked. And so I just want to honor that first and foremost before we begin here. Maybe you wrote something down that you've never said before out loud, or maybe you have, but it was painful to revisit. Or maybe you want to just take that page out of your journal and burn it or rip it up. And I just want to tell you that I get that. And I want to honor that space and just thank you for going into that and just, really kind of caring for yourself right now in this moment. You're already doing care, but just thank you for doing that. When we kind of want to take that page out of our journal and rip it up, I know that sometimes our experience can be shame. And for me, and maybe for most of us, shame makes me want to hide. It makes me want to turn away from those things. And I can just think of so many instances in my life where I wanted to hide from God because I felt like what I was praying or sharing or feeling was just too great and it was too much for him. Maybe having this belief that he wanted to turn himself away from that. And if I'm honest, I think we're all prone to that shame that we want to hide. Like if you truly knew, I know for me, the struggle sometimes is if you really knew this, you wouldn't want to be in relationship with me, with God, but with people in my life too. That if God somehow knew, or if others somehow knew what I was hiding, that it would just be the thing that was way too much and that my vulnerability would be too much. That there's like this fear that they'd change their mind.
Yeah, I keep meeting Christians. I feel like this is such a common experience for Christians where they almost sense that God is harboring some hidden resentment for them. I meet so many Christians who love the church, love the scriptures. They're even speaking these words to other people of God's love for them, but they actually secretly feel like that those words are not for them, that they apply to other people, but that it's not for them, that it's just they've had the same struggles too many times over, that they themselves have disappointed God too much. And that's actually, that's his posture, that's his face, that he is secretly disappointed in them. I hear that so often, which is why it's so important that we actually look at him and ask him, what is your face? What is your posture? What are you saying to me?
Yeah. So in the face of our shame, what is God's posture? And I think that a lot of us have an incorrect view of God because we all have experiences in life. I know in the work that I've done with people and even in my own personal work, a lot of the times we sort of layer the behaviors of other people in our lives onto how we see God. Whether that's a parental figure or someone that was important to us in school or a friend, or even now, like as an adult, like those meaningful relationships. And so we kind of just like see God in that way. And I think that being the incorrect way that we view God, that his posture isn't that way to us. It's actually the opposite. And I think that he's extending an invitation to us, really, to walk with him in our pain. And just like in that verse that Jesus says, his yoke is easy and his burden is light. And so what is God's posture to us?
Yeah, the words there are just so powerful. He says, he says, come, and he says, learn from me. And then he says, I am meek, humble, gentle. He says, that's what I am.
Yeah.
He's compassionate. He's arms wide open, not finger pointing.
Right.
And we see him as someone who, like us, can get easily exasperated, or whose love can run out, which it can in ours. We are so imperfect in the way we're even trying to love people. We see God that way. And we even have this sense that maybe I need to unburden myself before I come to him. What an impossible scenario we're building for ourselves there. And he says the opposite. The invitation's here. You are heavy. come to me. It's not unburden yourself first. There's not hoops to jump through before you get to Jesus. So I just think if you're feeling burdened, if you wrote those things down and you're feeling burdened, the invitation's for you and not later. It's right now in the midst of these things, his grace, these words of him being gentle, compassionate, his face towards you saying, come, I am gentle, I am compassionate. That's for you right now in the midst of the things that you just wrote down.